and people need to have questions about this because it not only for content creators, it's for people who actually want to, watch videos. They
Mm-hmm.
need to know, what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. Like that's the main thing because you don't want to be caught between a rock and a hard place. Trying to figure out, especially for those that have multiple, well, by now, those of us that have been in this thing for a long time have videos that are in the hundreds and even thousands. Like I was looking on Ryan Moody's channel, he has what 2,700, so that's
Eh,
2,700, and you're talking about, okay, well, what if all those videos were fined at 44 grand? He would owe 118 million right
right,
out the gate.
exactly. Right, exactly. And and nothing against Ryan because we all had our differences with him. But to be honest, this affects all of us. And no matter how we feel about his content, it may be redundant and we may feel like it's past its time. But I think he makes good content at the end of the day. I never question the quality of his content. I just think it was just time to move forward. But nevertheless, I don't want to see anybody have to go through that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It to me is bigger than that. I mean, that stuff is petty compared to what's really going on. And I watched his videos, and it's like really, he's really concerned about it, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, because I know not his last three, but he spent three videos on it. So I'm like, and rightfully so. Everybody is really concerned about it. But here's the thing, and I'll touch on it in detail. This is actually one of my questions, and that is, since this thing is based off of ad revenue or whatever, or advertisers targeting children, so that goes into monetization, and that's where my question is going to come up. But I see we got getting people. Well, this is Bill's again, but we got people in here, so I think we need to give
Yeah,
a
let's go ahead and
proper
get
intro.
yeah, let's go ahead and get started. This is first in frame rates episode 99. I know you guys already heard about how we feel about the actual rule and other YouTubers, mainly Ryan Moody, because he's like one of the ones that's in this community outside of us actually talking about it. You don't hear nothing from the other people who do football gaming related content or just sports related content, but it just tells you that a lot of people aren't paying attention to what's going on, and they need to know what's going on. Episode 99 is supposed to be about getting geared up for episode 100, all this other stuff. But with so many things going on, we need to find out what's the future of content creating. So, if anybody who's here and they really want to know what are we talking about, basically, COPPA is a law that was enacted in 1998, and that law basically was saying that children's information cannot be used over the internet to use them for get the internet. Get the information to send ads to them without parents' consent. Well, the problem with that is you had web cookies, you had other things that provide the data on the computer, and what YouTube did. This is basically YouTube's fault. And what YouTube did, YouTube took the information and sent that information to companies that put ads on YouTube. Well, the feds, FTC, the government found out what they were doing. They were fined $170 million, and that's just $170 million here in the United States. It was also fined in the UK. I think it was fined in Australia. There was fined in other places as well. So basically, what happened was they ended up getting fined somewhere between 180 and 190 million US dollars. And what they did with that was they basically said, we're going to pay this fine, and we're going to wash our hands of all of this that's going on. We're not going to get fined again. We're just going to pass the buck on to content creators, which I don't think is fair, which we'll get into later. And now, if you're making content that's possibly kid or that not gonna say possibly that is kid oriented, if it possibly looks like kid oriented, if it's anything to do with something that could be related to kids, you can be in trouble by the FTC. This is not a YouTube issue. This is something from the FTC basically saying that you can be fined up to $42,350 per video if you are not in compliance with the rules set by YouTube. Now, we'll get into those rules or whatever, but before we get into any of that, DJ, if you want to do an intro, that's fine. If you want to jump in to the actual content that we're getting into, it's totally up to you. But at the end, I really just want to know your thoughts about what has happened based on what I talked about so far.
Well, I hope everybody's had a good start to their week. I think that's really all I'm worried about is just making sure everybody's okay, making it, got a good start to the week. But as far as COPPA is concerned, yeah, I spent last night just just watching videos, particularly from people who had a background in as lawyers and dealing with the law, because I wasn't going to take any words coming from a regular. I know it kind of present company excluded. I wasn't going to take any words or any viewpoints taken from just regular YouTubers. But yeah, YouTube screwed up, and now all the content creators that are on the channel, that are on the site, have to pay for it, and it's going to be. It seems like it's going to be literal in that fact. Yeah, pretty much the advertisers were given the information from YouTube through cookies, through like search engines, stuff like that. As far as like when, if kids are online, they do an internet search, especially, you got Google search that collects information, YouTube collects information. Every time you're on your computer, information is collected. So, and plus, if there's a mic on, it's collecting information through that as well. So when they're on YouTube and then they're searching different things that they're interested in, let's say they're looking for the Lego series, like they may find a channel that has something to do with Legos. Those channels are in danger. Music channels are in danger if you have anything that could be geared towards kids. Video gaming in general is actually probably your biggest target, because there's still that stigma that gaming is for kids, no matter what the rating says on the game itself. Because one of the little details.
DJ. This is the thing, DJ. What do we talk about? What type of games we talk about?
No, we talk about sports, which actually is
Stop right
number
there.
one right there.
Stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
What sports game that is not E for everyone?
Well, he had to go in the past for that one.
Exactly. Every game that's out here that's being boosted up on YouTube, NBA 2K20, Madden, NHL, any of those that we want to talk about is E for everyone. So that right there alone, that chops us at the knees already. But we'll get into that later. I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah, so with sports gaming that we talk about, that's already automatic. NBA 2K already got tripped up with the whole advertising being exposed. It's kind of like a precursor to what's going on with YouTube with NBA 2K's little trip up advertisement that was featured. Like last year's 2K had an M-rated trailer or for a show that's M-rated that would play on a E for everybody game, and kids are playing 2K, so they see this on Showtime, and it's like, what the heck?
Right.
And then now you have the gambling that's exposed to the kids, so it's just like now YouTube, you're basically is going through another apocalypse, but this one may be it for folks.
Yeah, see, I'm not trying to be funny, because I love everybody who comes here and watches, us live and listen to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. I do appreciate it, but I'm not saying this in the wrong way, but this right here, I've told people, days in advance. I told people in the last video, this is a serious matter that people need to look into. And for us to only have 6 people without many questions, it just goes back to show you that how many people are actually paying attention to this. And it's scary because if they don't do, well, listen, they're going to do their tweaks to this law, but still at the end of the day, these guys are out for blood. They're out for money. And they're going to get some money some way, shape, or fashion. And if you're not equipped with the information that we're about to put out there, because you feel like, okay, this is just another YouTube ploy, this is something, a little algorithm thing that's going to die down like Adpocalypse, or the crazy copyright strikes that they were doing, the automated stuff it's not that. This is a third party coming in, and the wrong third party coming in. You got the government coming in to basically tell you, we're going to look at all these videos. And you think I'm lying if you didn't say they're not going to look at all these videos. I got some information. Hopefully, I'll be able to play it with the audio so you can hear it.
Oh, you're talking about the FTC actual video, the press conference?
I got a clip that has all the information you need about what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think they don't have the tools to sweep everybody channel, whether if it's mine with 345 subscribers, because I lost 3 subscribers after the last video, I guess everybody just up and run, or you're somebody with like PewDiePie with 50 million plus, or maybe 60 million subscribers, they're coming after everybody. They're coming after everyone. They already said they have the tools for it. So please, if you have any questions or suggestions or anything that will help, I would highly recommend it. This is Tuesday. This is usually our Q&A. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, but usually on the Q&A, people always have questions about their favorite football team. They have questions about content creators. They have questions about who wins, who loses. Somebody's wrong about a certain player. Who's the GOAT? They have all these questions about that. But if we don't have any questions to help continue to have this type of platform, there will be no more questions like that on Tuesday. We'll probably have to go to another platform to where some people may not want to go to that platform. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once people are used to YouTube, you tell them to go on to Twitch, or we're going to Daily Motion, we're going to, Instagram TV. People probably not even willing to listen. Some people aren't even willing to hit the like button. Or you think they're going to download a whole nother app to come see us? And I'm not saying that to be funny, but I'm just being dead serious about what we're up against. Something needs to change. And I just hope that people come together with some type of, some thoughts, some discussions or whatever. Because I can care less if a lot of people come here just for the views. But I'll be damned, I really want people to come here to actually have some real thought, because you got a lot of people that make these type of videos, even this live stream, and they do this type of stuff about video games. They might not be able to do it no more. Some people with 30, 40, 50, 60,000 subscribers probably aren't ready to start all the way over and go to another platform. This is the type of stuff people got to think about. And NA just put out, like he just said, you guys can go to Twitch or deal. Yeah, we can go. We have a small following, and don't get me wrong, I love you guys who come here 2 days out the week, who come to my videos, who go see DJ stuff, who comment on Bill's Twitter and comment on all our Twitters. We love you guys, and I'm not saying that to be funny, but what about the next person who have a lot of subs that don't feel like it's viable for them to start over? It's just stuff you have to think about. DJ, I'm going to let you go ahead and if you have anything to ask with that, or you want to talk about the piggyback on that, I'm going to see if I could pull up some stuff, some information that we can all read together and actually really discuss. So if you have anything, you can go ahead.
Okay. Well, the timing, not really the timing, but I feel like the timing of starting, because I recently started a State of Decay 2 series. I'm up on episode 4. I think tomorrow I may go live with episode 5. Couldn't have been any poorer, because now it looks like I'm gonna have to take that series over to Twitch. And that's kind of like the thought process of most people when it comes to this policy of COPPA being enforced in the way it's supposed to be enforced. Now, first of all, it wasn't even supposed to come this soon. Originally, it was supposed to be redone by 2023, but because child advocacy agencies and organizations, they got together and spoke the loudest, FTC, cracked the whip, and they redid the law, they revised it this year. So
yeah, like I think it was like in April or September or something like that.
Yeah, because I know there were articles about this about a month or two ago. So, and it's funny that VF that you talked about the shock of not a lot of people talking about this. When I was going through my research, to hear that same sentiment from each person I heard, even as I slept, the videos were playing, I could hear it. Every video I heard said the same thing. I'm surprised not a lot of people are talking about this. I'm surprised that folks aren't, like, there are people that are taking this seriously. Obviously, the ones that are monetized, because you're talking about one having to label your video correctly, and that's not even.
That's another thing we're gonna get into, because labeling your videos don't mean shit. But that we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's what I was basically going to say. It's just right now it doesn't mean anything. My research left me with more questions because of the whole argument of if this is based over targeting of the advertisers targeting children, so that generates income, that generates money for YouTube and also for the content creators. So here's one question that popped up for me throughout all that. So if this is about monetization of channels that possibly have ads that run that could target children when they're viewing, will this sweep be primarily focused on monetized channels? Now I say primarily because I'm not saying it because obviously everyone's going to get looked at, but what's on the priority list? And I have a firm belief that from the get-go, they're going to look at the monetized channels first, because a lot of us, YouTube has been going through this phase out for quite some time.
It's going to be the total opposite. Usually when stuff like this goes down, YouTube kind of caters to the people who are making money for them.
But that's the thing. It's not YouTube that's doing this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's going to
be that's why I said that FTC will look at the monetized channels first. I never said that. What YouTube is doing, they're already covering their ass.
Right.
But right now, since FTC is looking at it, their target is going to be the monetized channels, because those are the channels that are speaking the loudest right now about, I'm about to lose 80% of my income. I'm like, no, none of the channels, and I think none of the channels that don't have monetization turned on or at all, I believe none of them are talking about this, because like I said, my firm belief is that FTC is going to target them first, and then once they dwindle that number down and get a hold of that, whether they demonetize the channels of these people or they find a way to refine this policy, which right now is so vague, and then they'll go after everyone else. Because I'm like, if I were the FTC, I would go where the money is.
All right. Let me get a few things. Some people are saying, YouTube is already censoring. They've been censoring a lot of our stuff that goes on to the in the chat. So it's NA is saying a few things. He can see it, but everybody else can't see it.
I see.
But I'm going to put one of them that he put up so everybody else can see it. He basically said it will focus hard on the tenfold have shits that make money fear mongering. No, it's not, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Young Noble also said, I blame Fortnite for this bullshit, dumbass kids. No, it has nothing to do with Fortnite. All right, I'm about to share the first part of what about COPPA. This is a document. You can get this off ftc.gov. This is exactly what they're saying in writing. I'm actually going to try to get the audio for that video to work shortly. But you guys need to know this, and we're going to read this as much as possible because it's a good bit, so I may ad lib a good bit of it. But this is basically what it is. Let's see. The survey, Q1, determine whether a site is primarily directed to children 12 and under. You know, all that's yada, 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 other
All right,
talk.
so let's stop right there. So first of all, definition of children is going to be different according to which country you're in. Here in the United States, they define children 12 and under. So because you can't even you can't even run a YouTube channel unless you're 13.
Right. The first couple paragraphs, a bunch of yada, yada, yada. I'm not getting into that. Subject matter. Now, this is very, very important. You guys need to see this. And this affects us. This affects Neff1 because he makes content. Anybody else, I think Pooh does live streams. You have Derek. I'm about to call you Derek. DJ does live streams.
Everyone knows my first name, so it doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, you have all these people who make content. The subject matter is very, very important. You guys need to look at this and really listen to what I'm about to say. Subject matter for kids is appealing to children. E.g., which is i.e., same thing. Example: kids, jokes, music, games, video, computer games. That's us. Children, TV shows, or stars. Those appear in video games. TV shows or children shows and stars are in some games. Cartoon characters. Do I need to go any further with that? Sports. Enough said. That's your Maddens. That's your NHLs. That's your FIFAs. That's your all. You make videos.
Even talking about just like I said, sports. Even talking about the NFL. Even talking about the NHL, like in real life.
The topics that we do on First and Frame Rates. That's us. The word sports. That's all it needs. It just has something to do with sports. Stories, toys, children's books, fantasies, children arts, crafts, pets, products primarily just the last part once again. And I'm not listen. Products primarily purchased or consumed by kids, like snack food or cereal. Let's get the snack food and cereal out of the way. Products primarily purchased. Kids buy video games. You see what I'm saying?
Well, parents buy the video games for their kids.
Right. You're right. But
because
you kind of get what I'm saying, because I'm telling you what they mean by that. If the parents buying it for the kids, they basically trying to say the kids are buying the games. This type of stuff right here chops the legs from under us easily off the subject matter alone. Young Noble has a question real quick. He says, what about kids that use an adult account now to see the 18 or over content? You need to go and look at the YouTube video with the lady on it. I got it. I don't have the link of it, but I will put the link in the chat. This lady basically said they cannot police anybody who's using an adult account, so they don't know if it's a child or not. All they know is an adult account watching kids stuff. So therefore, that's why everybody is being affected by this.
So, like, instead of trying to pinpoint it, it's like, oh, this may be a pedophile, or this may be a kid viewing inappropriate material because they're too young. They'll just take them out. All of it out the equation.
Yeah, they're just putting everything under the umbrella. Also, presentation. You can tell this stuff was written in 98 or early 2012. Presentation. Language of the website, such language to be understandable to children 12 and under. Short, colorful descriptions. I mean, come on, that's in video games. Slang, pop, culture phrases. We do that on the podcast. A kid's site may be identified as language such as kids only, fun. No, we don't do that. Free stuff. the word whatever, cool, dull, games. Ask your parents. How many YouTube videos you've seen that people that do stuff and tell you to ask your parents about stuff? These guys know that this stuff is geared towards kids, and they make videos for kids, so they always tell you to consent with your parents about certain things on their videos. It's another thing. The presentation don't necessarily undercut us under our legs or whatever, but I just used the word that they use. I just said the word whatever. When they're going through these videos, they're going to look for these type of video. I mean, they're going to look for these type of words that are used in these videos. And if you guys don't think that these guys can actually go through everybody's videos, I got some more content for you to show you that they're already in place trying to do that. So for me, using the word whatever, if I keep this video or this live stream up after January 1st, even though the title was COPPA is not up for kids, well, let's look at episode 98. Let's look at episode 97. Let's look at any other episode when we use the word whatever or fun or games. That type of stuff, like, okay, these guys are cursing on their podcast, talking about video games, talking about sports, and VF put the link. I mean, he put the tab, the button, say none of his contents is for kids. Well, hell, why are you talking about video games? I'm going to get a $42,000 fine.
Yep, that is the rock between a hard place type of situation, because
right.
That and I'll touch on this. This is where labeling your video or channel means nothing.
Absolutely,
because
nothing.
Like VF just said, all you want. Federal Trade Commission will come in, because they already had the analogy, fish in a barrel, shooting fish in a barrel. So they know all this is in one place. So them being a government agency can easily access everything. They can get permission real quick.
And in some cases, they don't need permission to YouTube, because they already got YouTube by the nuts about to tone $170 million.
So now the Patriot Act kind of comes in. It's like a shadow of the Patriot Act right now. So there you go. The legacy of the Patriot Act is it's happening right now. But like I said, they'll mainly watch these videos and they'll see what the label is. And then if they view that, oh, this person's view towards kids, why are they saying they're
or they can easily just say we're fraud and that we're trying to say it's not.
Well, that's basically what they'll say. And they'll just like, for each occurrence, so it's per video for each video. So that's why tips are out there where it says, okay, you may label your whole channel, you can label individual videos, but if you label your whole channel, you still need to go through your individual videos and see. A person like myself, it would be it's easy, because I went back, because I have about 500 plus videos that you can and do the math as far as the fines per video if all of them were happen to be mislabeled.
Right.
But I could go back by year and go through. So I can go through each one in smaller chunks. Others haven't even set up a playlist to really because for others, they have to go down the line. That's going to become tedious. They're not going to want to go through all that. And eventually they're going to be like, you know what? It'll just be easy to either delete all the videos or delete the account, go to another platform. And, that's where a lot of people are feeling they need to do, because it's not even going to matter. Because I know at one point my stuff was monetized, but they demonetized all the small channels, last year sometime, like in February last year.
Real quick, I'm going to get into this screen that I got up next, but I know I have a couple of comments that's actually very good. I'm not going to get into the entire thing that Neff said because, I can read the whole thing. Neff says sometimes the game itself has foul language. That right there is going to get you in trouble. If I mess around and play Grand Theft Auto, or if I mess around and play any mature rated game that has foul language, let me tell you something. The FTC don't care about if it's mature related because they already feel like mature rated games shouldn't be out there because they already think they're targeting kids anyway. But that's another story for another day. He said he has one more vid to drop, and he's going to Daily Motion and Twitch and other real outlets. But I'm not a butt because of the YouTube, and he's going to keep going. Ravens Nation said YouTube has been doing shady things over the past 5 years. I wonder will people will stop using it completely one day and go to another platform. NA also says YouTube needs to be cleansed. It's a joke. Just wait for the smoke to clear and let the dumbasses get in trouble and come back. All right, I get that. And I will get that only if YouTube was doing the regulation. The fact that the government's getting into it, the government's never going to get out of this. Once they start, they're never going to finish. They're going to always have their foot into in some form or some way of trying to get people to get that $42,000 fine. They're never going to stop.
So look at this example. Being able to have access to a backdoor to iPhones. They didn't have that at one point, and they needed to get some information off a particular iPhone because of a terrorist incident down in Orlando, Florida, with the shooting down there in that club.
No, was it that, or was it the San Bernardino one?
No, it was that.
You sure?
Yeah, because it was the Orlando.
I remember the nightclub shooting, but I think I'm almost certain it was the San Bernardino one because it was the female that had the iPhone.
Yeah, but so did the Orlando shooter. We both could be right.
Okay.
I think they was able to find a way and crack open a back door to get into the iPhones, and Apple had to go through and redo their whole security system. So, but yeah, once the government found a way into that, they know how to get into that, and they're gonna be there.
Yeah, they're never going to go away. Once they get in, it's done. So they're going to stay on YouTube forever once they start this 120. They're not going to stop. So they may die down, they may chill out, but they're always going to be there. So you got to think about it. They're a business that don't need to make they don't need to make profit to survive. They just take money when they get ready. So at 42.5 a pop, you think they're not going to stop? You think they're going to stop? Not at 42.5 a pop. That's easy. That's money that they can get without taxing people.
Yeah, because one of the things I thought could be in that settlement, because the settlement was what, 175 million,
right?
That they settled for. What if they had the agreement was, well, we don't have to pay it. We'll round up the money through these fines we're going to levy out against people because people are going to get fined.
Right.
So YouTube doesn't have to pay, may not have to pay anything.
Let me tell you something.
This is all said and done.
YouTube ain't paying nothing. Let me tell you, you're going to have some people that going to come through, and you're going to have some people who aren't paying attention. They're going to get fined. And they're going to probably, I ain't going to say they're going to make $170 million back, but.
Yeah, because that payment is going to go straight to the government. It's not going to YouTube, because if that settlement has that agreement that that fine levied at YouTube is passed down to the user, isn't this what phone companies do when they come into something where the process that they do is more expensive than what it used to be? They usually pass down the cost to the customer,
to the consumer, exactly.
And a lot of times it's in like hidden fees and stuff like that. So this could be another case where that's happening once again.
NANA said there always will be rules, and it won't end as bad as you all think. No, you know what? He may be right, but you have to err on the side of caution. Once again, I said if it's YouTube regulating this, it may not. But I don't ever trust the government when it comes to regulation. I will not. And for all intents and purposes, it's a possibility it can get worse.
Honestly, I haven't come to a conclusion how this is going to end.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right now, I'm being cool about it. I'm like looking at how I've recognized how serious this is.
Right.
But I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, especially the people that are monetized. Those folks are probably going to feel it a lot more than me. I'm not monetized.
Right. Yeah, we're not.
I'm not saying I'm not saying like a channel like ours is not going to catch the wrath, but that wrath, if we go someplace else, if we were to delete our channels, we wouldn't feel a thing. It would be no different than not having YouTube at all versus these folks that pretty much have their full-time job is YouTube.
See, that's what I'm saying. We got 12 to 15 listeners, per live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'd be nothing for these guys to come over to Twitch, or if we do Periscope or whatever. I don't think it'd be nothing for them. But if you got a lot of people who are just accustomed to YouTube on one person's channel, listen, people lose subscribers and can't get their numbers back when they just change a channel. They switch from one channel to the other on YouTube alone. So could you imagine them going to another platform altogether? Like, nothing against, Hard Eight, because I like his channel, but when he had his first channel, he had a lot of subs on that one. When he had to go to the other one, it's just not the same. And it's on the same platform. So imagine if he did have to go somewhere else. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a different, I don't know. I'm going to get into, this is what hold on, let me see if I can expand this, because I got my little man on me. He doesn't want to move. Okay, that's good. Great. Okay, baby, good. All right. He's half asleep. In the settings of your channel, you can go and change this setting, and it says, like, is your channel made for kids? I click no, and you have this, you have the option to do so. Now, what happens, number 7 of 11, what is considered kids content? YouTube stated that when deciding whether your video content is aimed towards kids or not, consider the following. No, I'm not going to do that. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking at. If you decide to make your content made for kids, what does this mean for your channel? This is what happens. Like, say, for instance, if you want to make kid content, and this is totally, this is fucked up. This is really fucked up. This is what happens when you set your channel as made for kids. You don't, you all these features are removed. You don't have comments. You can't get personalized ads. Your info cards are gone. Your end screens are gone, so you can't use an end screen to tell somebody to go to another video. The stories are gone, so you can't talk about I don't even know how stories work, to be honest with you. You don't have a community tab. The notification bell is gone. And listen to this. You don't even have the ability for your viewers to save the videos or watch them later or save them to a playlist. So you can't, not only that, your video is going to get buried in YouTube without being necessarily found like they normally would. Your people going to, your subs, not talking about your non-subs, your subs are going to be treated as non-subs and literally have to search for new vids for you if you decide to make your content made for kids. That is the worst. If anybody has a channel that's strictly made for kids, you can't even well, we already know I don't know if you guys know already, they already been stopping people from commenting on kids' videos. And if you really want to get into that, you know what? I'll just keep it real short. There's been some videos with kids doing activities, gymnastics, swimming, playing on the playground or whatever, just regular dance videos that kids do, just regular videos. You have these pedophiles, these nasty motherfuckers come to those channels, and they timestamp certain area or certain positions that these kids are in when they're swimming, doing gymnastics, when they're dancing, and all these pedophiles are thumbs up in these comments that are timestamped because they like to see these kids in certain positions. Some of the disgusting shit I've ever seen on YouTube. So, with that being said, they took all the comments out of all these kids' videos that are like that. That's why if your videos are made for kids, you don't have any comments. Personalized ads, obviously, they already don't want you to make money giving stuff, sending your information to kids. Notification bell, they don't want these, people being notified when these kids' videos are up so they can do what they do, like I named earlier. Yes, Pooh, I'm dead serious. That type of stuff has been happening. These pedophiles been going to these kids' channels doing shit like that. That's why comments are disabled from a lot of kids' videos. And I'm not lying. I'm not joking when I say this. It's just disgusting. It really is. So let's go down a little bit more. What happens if YouTube think my video was made for kids? Yeah, but I disagree. Can I appeal? Good luck. You already know how the appeals thing goes.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because the appeals function on YouTube is a joke.
Right, you're better off talking to Roger Goodell about not getting suspended games. Number 11. What happens if my creator marked their videos incorrectly? This will result in compliance with issues under COPPA and may result in consequences for your channel or videos. Basically, your ass is going to get fined. That's basically what they're saying. This video right here, I want to get a link to it. I don't know if the link, I want to click it. Let me see.
Well, it's a YouTube video, so you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get it now.
You can hit share.
That's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
God damn it! The whole thing popped up. All right. Copy. I'm gonna put that in the. I'm putting that in the chat. So whenever y'all get a chance, go look at that video. This lady is basically telling you, listen, if you think you have a problem with any of your videos, have a problem with what you think is non-compliant or not, get a lawyer.
If you can afford one.
That is basically what they're saying.
Better find a friend that's a lawyer. They can give you free advice.
But even with that said, DJ, the fact that they're telling you to get a lawyer, that is basically telling you that you're on your own.
Yeah, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, they're not going to pay the fine. We are.
Right. They're telling you to get a lawyer. So
they're like, son, you're on your own.
You want to add anything to this? I'm going to try to pull up what this FTC compliance guy said. So not only that we're reading it, you're going to hear it from their mouth, so you will know. So if you got anything,
scroll back to if you're gonna play the guy pretty much.
Yeah,
we can go ahead and play. So hopefully folks can hear that.
Let me see if y'all guys can hear that.
Because this is the guy I was talking about.
Right. Let me know if y'all can hear this real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna cut it up as loud as possible.
I'm not hearing anything.
You're not hearing anything?
Nope.
All right. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Kay, I love you so much, but you're on my. I might have to do it through my headset. Hold on one second.
All right, so NA, I don't know if it appears on the YouTube. Okay, good, it does. He says people are pissed that their dreams are now shattered. Cue Gold Dust music.
Can you hear that?
Wait, play it again. I can barely hear him.
You can barely hear it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to try to do one more thing, and then I'm surprised that you can't hear any audio through this. I'm actually surprised. I don't know.
Chat, can you guys hear that? Hear the video? Because if anything...
Yeah, because I really want them to hear that. Like, no joke. If not, I can probably get it on my iPad, but I just need to go over there and reach it and get it.
Mm.
Go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to see if I can make something happen.
All right, so... Oh, and this also goes into, when we talked about things that appeal to kids, talk about animations. Anime is a huge target. The manga, if I'm saying that right, Pooh, let me know. But they're targeting channels that specialize in that. Like I said, right now, everything is just so vague. Like the panic in the YouTube website is for the fact that this language is vague. I mean, it can mean anything. And, you're talking about, okay, if you say certain things like whatever and stuff like that, folks talk like that no matter how old they are. Cursing in your videos, apparently that's not going to matter. Because they're going to take it in consideration, but they're like, well, instead of finding that person 44,000, we're just going to find them 5,000 because we know that but the rest of the video is pretty clean. Kids could be watching this, and yeah.
All right, I'm back. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear this. I'm almost certain you can. I got it on my iPad now. All right, this is this guy. I'm gonna blow this up.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Chris Thomas? How you doing? This is this guy right here talking. I mean, I can hit the play button, but you can't hear anything. But I got it on my iPad, and basically, this is a 32-second clip of everything that he basically laid out that are the real points of what's going on. All right, this is how he feels about content creators.
The analogy that I think of is the expression about shooting fish in a barrel. YouTube is the barrel and the content creators are the fish. There will be consequences for content creators. We have a variety of tools at our disposal to cull through those 23 million channels.
Stop right there. Did you hear what he just said? He said they have the culpable ability to go through these 23 million channels. So it's not going to be your channel's small. They're not going to see what you're doing. Your channel's big, so we're not going to see what you're doing. I'm going to go back and play that again so if people don't hear that.
Creators, we have a variety of tools at our disposal to cull through those 23 million channels and in an expeditious way. So when we talk about aggressiveness, we are typically talking about civil penalties. Not only can we sue Google and YouTube for compliance with COPPA, but also individual channel owners and content creators.
What else do I need to say? Y'all need me to run that back again? That was 32 seconds of everything that basically is going on in a nutshell.
Shoot, I would play it one more time.
All right, you want to run it again?
Bills was like, all I heard was that he was a fruitcake.
Yeah, I mean, he might be. Listen, these are very powerful people that are in very powerful places that's fucking it up for everybody. Regardless of he could be a fruitcake, he can be sucking dick around the corner, but then the bottom line is we're going to have to find a way to work around this. And it's bullshit. All right, I'm going to run it again.
The analogy that I think of is the expression about shooting fish in a barrel. YouTube is the barrel and the content creators are the fish. There will be consequences for content creators. We have a variety of tools at our disposal to cull through those 23 million channels and in an expeditious way. So when we talk about aggressiveness, we are typically talking about civil penalties. Not only can we sue Google and YouTube for compliance with COPPA, but also individual channel owners and content creators. The analogy that
when I said like the title of this podcast, I wanted to talk about the NFL and Colin Kaepernick situation, how both sides fucked that up. I wanted to talk about why in hell Phillip Rivers throwing 4 picks. I wanted to talk about, Star Wars, The Fallen Order. I wanted to talk about it, but stuff, you got a guy like this trying to do stuff like what he said. It trumps all of that right now. Obi-Wan says basically he's going after content creators, period, point blank. Yes, he is. He's telling you straight up what he's doing.
Yeah, and then if you would have seen the video on top of the audio, you would have. He kind of cracked a smile a little bit.
He was loving every bit of it, especially the part about shooting fish in a barrel. He was loving every bit of it. If you can see the video, I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna try to put a link to this so you guys can see that clip. Mm-hmm. He was gleefully, he was glee like loving this. Let's see. Ravens Nation says, I want to blame this new generation for this, but this guy is like 60 years old. And that's the problem. He is maybe in his 60s and have no idea how the internet really runs when it comes to this gaming lifestyle. They don't understand that what we're doing right now on our podcast or what we're doing on our live streams when DJ does his games and I do my games, or when Bill's, does his stuff, this is not geared for people that's 13 years old. But they don't understand that because they look at a video game and they automatically think that it's for kids.
But to tell you the truth, okay, I'm taking a different view on this. I don't blame them. I blame YouTube.
I'm with you.
They really did not speak up. They just like, oh, well, how can we get out of this? Oh, they can get, yeah, go ahead. That's basically what they did. They didn't try to stand up. They didn't try to.
Obi-Wan, what link you want? If you want the link, I can send it to you.
Yeah, because that was VF that sent that link.
No, go ahead, DJ.
But yeah, it was basically YouTube with the Olay defense,
right,
on this, because they really did not want to pay that fine, or quote unquote quote fingers. They pay that fine. No, you're paying that fine. They're passing it. I firmly believe YouTube is passing on the cost of this settlement to the individual content creators. And now, because if YouTube would have been stronger,
I sent it to you. I sent it to you, Obi. I sent it through another YouTuber. Actually had the actual clip, so I put it through him.
Yeah, so if YouTube would have been stronger in its defense, then it would be YouTube, because it's just funny that it's now on the individual content creator and not just the site that people sign up for. That is supposed to flip, especially with fines that large. That's why to me, it doesn't make sense that you can fine somebody that much. And most of the people that, if you look at the people that don't monetize their videos, whether they have a regular job, part-time job, underemployed, unemployed, whatever the case may be, to fine them that much is excessive.
That is, it's very excessive. Yeah, I agree.
And it's just like, listen, that's definitely, getting content creators to the point where, like, I'll just leave and go to a site where they're not having that issue.
I'm not trying to hear. I don't make a lot of money. I work. My yearly salary is more on what they're finding, but still, that's a lot of money to just shell out. You see what I'm saying? I can't live off of one of these fines. I get one of these fines, I'm going to be set back so far in my finances. And I mean, I'm a middle of the road guy, blue collar guy that just works and drive trucks. But it's still, nobody. Listen, I'm gonna cry if I get fined $10. You know what I mean? Shit, that's a week I can't eat. I can't eat on the go. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not. I understand your frustration, but I think we can all agree this.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Trump.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with President Trump. I mean,
because this has been going on. Stuff like this has been. I'm like, this COPPA has been around since 1998, so right. You actually could blame Clinton.
Right.
For this one.
Right. This is a law been around.
This is a Bill Clinton, just like the crime bill. Yeah, we're blaming Clinton on this one because the fact that it was made during his presidency and the fact that it's been able to stay around for so long. I'm like,
the only reason why it stayed around for a long time because you had child advocacy groups saying something. Trust me, if child advocacy groups wasn't saying nothing, no politician wouldn't have been saying anything about this.
So once that was put together, yeah, it because it's being ran by, but it's being used by a government agency that is supposed to enforce those laws. And once the law is in the books, unless it's amended, and YouTube opened the door because they didn't run a tight ship and complying with COPPA
it's not even it ain't even talking about running a tight ship. They didn't have a ship to run. They blatantly went against the rules. They blatantly gave out children's information to add to companies to send ads to children. That's
basically saying the same thing. Whether they didn't enforce, they allowed, they gave. It's all the same thing. They just didn't do anything. They didn't take it seriously.
Right.
And even now, they're not even taking it seriously. Well, they're taking it seriously for their bottom line. So that's why they're passing. I feel like they're passing the cost to the content creators. There's just like, YouTube's like, we're not paying this fine. You guys are paying this fine. You guys produce the content. We just host you guys. Like, but you created, whoever created YouTube, came up with YouTube, you gave people a platform for people to express themselves. This is technically, if a class action lawsuit were to happen, it could happen against YouTube. It can happen against FTC if you start talking about the Constitution. But then what negates that is that YouTube is a private organization. They can do whatever they want. So here we are.
Right.
Screwed.
Chris Thomas said they basically pulled a Facebook. To an extent, yes. Facebook pretty much gave out a bunch of information, but I think that was more on a political level though, because they gave out a lot of
it was because Mark is really pulling like those memes about him looking like Data from Star Trek The Next Generation are hilarious. It was like this is Data's son running Facebook.
But yeah, I mean, this is what we're up against. It's like, what does it mean for the podcast? I'm going to lay low as far as YouTube once one comes. I do plan on moving over to Twitch. All my live streams are already over there. Nigga, I know you didn't.
What happened?
My son just passed gas on my hand.
And did you just call him the N-word?
It was a reaction. Trust me. It was impulse. I'm sorry. Yo, it was an impulse. My bad, man. It's not ideal. I don't do that. It's just that it just happened. But anyway,
we definitely getting shut down for that.
I know, right? What I'm about to say? My live streams are already going over there. I already put the link. I already put the link in my pinned tweet. The live streams, like DJ said, you can do the just chatting when you're talking about games over there. I'm going to look more into that. The problem with that is the live streams that I use, which is StreamYard, which is phenomenal. I love StreamYard. This is
have a Twitch.
It doesn't have a Twitch link. So
yeah, that's the unfortunate thing.
There's a workaround that I can use.
OBS or any other.
I can use OBS. I can use Action Marillis. But the problem is I need to find out if there's like lag between it, because I don't want us to be talking and then we get a comment 3 minutes later. You know what I mean? I wanted to be still kind of consistent with what we have now as far as what we have now as far as comments. But
so Ravens Nation is like, careful, VF, fart is offensive to the FTC. And you're already talking about your son, so we are already.
Oh yeah. My son's in the podcast. Oh, is it made for kids? Nope. 42,000. I'm done already. Why you got a child in your video if it's not for kids? Done. I'm done. But that's the plan where we're going.
Well, that's good. Bill's about to hop in.
Okay. DJ already has his Twitch channel over there. It's easy to find mine. I don't have the link in the description because I have a lot of links already, which I'm going to discuss a couple of those links shortly. But until 1/1, I'm probably going to stay on YouTube for the time, unless if the workaround I have is actually up to par as far as linking to the chat. If the chat is still on, if it's on sync with what we have now, I'll just jump over there and we'll just start episode probably 101 over there.
The new beginning would be the title.
Right, yeah, no, right. I'm trying to think. Anything else? We're also always going to be on iTunes and SoundCloud, which I wish the FTC would go and look at the iTunes side of the.
See, all the other platforms got it right. They got it right. So their content creators, no matter what platform they're on, they followed the letter of the law. They followed it. They're in compliance. They're good. YouTube is the only one right now that we know of that was just like, fuck them kids.
Oh, wait a minute now. You go to Twitch. I was reading stuff on Twitch. Twitch already has a statement out saying they will never give out any ad information to anyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I already said Periscope is possibly one that we're going to use because Periscope does link up with
Twitter.
StreamYard. Yeah, it's Twitter and StreamYard. So the what I use here does link to Periscope as well. So, and also that could be another avenue where people can watch the live stream without jumping to Twitch or YouTube. or Twitch or wherever else we go. The problem is the possible. Well, no, because Periscope do they also do what you call it, comments, so that'll work.
Here's another thing. I don't think folks was thinking about this. Some of y'all gonna have to change your thumbnails, your profile on YouTube. Chris, Ravens Nation. I don't think Pooh so much. I don't know. NA may be safe.
I put it like this. If you got a thumbnail that appeals to kids and you make content, I mean, they're already trying to sweep everybody. Just don't be that person that be at the top of the list.
Shoot, I would personally handle Neffs. I would ban that one right away. No cowboys allowed. Just like VF is like no people with missing hands and feet, arms and legs. I swear, if you watching, I actually made a reference to you while I was doing my State of Decay 2 series. I think it was episode 4. By the way, episode 4 is probably the funniest episode of State of Decay 2 that I put out so far. You guys gotta check it out. It's funny, especially I think the middle of it and then towards the end because I wound up kicking somebody out. Like I literally there was a moment where I sat there, I was just like, I got caught in like 2 or 3 thoughts, and then I sat back and I said something that was kind of Pinky like.
You mean like Pinky the porn star?
No. And you're a married man, and you know about Pinky.
Who didn't? Pinky's been a porn star since.
Who didn't? Of course, yeah.
Yeah, like the early 2000s. Been around. I mean, that was way before I was married. But
has a secret stash that he ain't telling her about.
Hey, we're not gonna talk about all that now. We can go that far.
You brought her up.
Anyway, more dislikes. We already know how it is. I don't get it. This is very informative. I would think that people would respect what we're trying to do.
Pinky from next Friday.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was just, saying that this is informative. We're trying to give out information. I don't understand why people.
There's no need to explain to those people. They as we saw after we ended our stream, it went from 3 to like 1.
Right, and 2 more likes.
Right. So it's probably what's his face? Where is he? No, probably Noble doing that now.
Chris Thomas said, do you think a lot of content creators are going to move to other streaming platforms like Twitch or Mixer?
They already started.
Yeah, I do. I do. I think they're going to go over. It's going to be interesting to see who goes over, but I think it's a few of them are going to go. Like we already said, we're going to Twitch. I kind of had an idea to go to Twitch prior to this, knowing about this, but I already said it was something that I wanted to do. I really want to know who's going to go. Mixer is more of an Xbox thing, so it kind of
that's out the question.
Yeah, it kind of curtails half of the gamers. Well, I ain't gonna say half because not many people got an Xbox, but you see what I'm saying. It cuts out a good portion of gamers. So, honestly, I think if Mixer do grow outside of Xbox, it would be a valuable. It'd be a viable competitor to Twitch because Mixer is actually not that bad. I've seen it a couple of times in motion. I've seen a couple of people actually live stream. I saw Mark later use it, and it's not the format is not bad. It actually looks great, and I would recommend it. But you know how that is.
Now I know we spent most of this podcast talking about COPPA. Is there really any more we need to say about it? Because I think
that's
with 1,000,001 we do.
No, I'm just saying it's a good question.
Yeah, because there's 1,000,001 channels that are making. I wouldn't say 1,000,001. There's enough channels out there that has this content about COPPA. I would specifically look for anybody that has a background in law and probably was a lawyer at one point in time that is uploading. That's a content creator themselves. I would look for those type of comments on COPPA.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this video right here? I'm gonna share the screen. It's by Ian Corzine. This one about what YouTube is not telling you about COPPA by Ian Corzine.
Nope, I haven't seen that one.
He is a lawyer. That I watched his, and this guy came out with a lot of information. I'm gonna put that link in the chat. This is one that I highly recommend watching. There's a couple other ones that are content creators that I recommend watching too, because if you're a content creator, you're thinking about being a content creator, they have certain avenues where things that they're going to do differently for their channel that may work, may or may not work for you. So, just because a lawyer is out there talking, they're talking about the legalities of the law. Content creators actually have certain alternatives that may work for you, that what they're going to do to continue to upload their stuff to not only their channel, but other places they may go that you're not going to hear from a lawyer. So, Chadtronics is a good one. His name is
I'm trying to find the one I was looking at.
I know that one content creator is a good one, Chadtronics. I started watching this when I saw a few people that they were like freaking out. They didn't give out any content. Not any information. Ryan Moody gave out really good information, but his information was more geared towards I'm leaving the site. I'm putting everything behind a Patreon. I'm not taking any chances. He was just basically giving you the information, and so it's not like he's giving you like information that would like necessarily be helpful if you're trying to do something different. He's basically telling you it might be a good idea to cut and run, and that's okay because nobody wants to pay a $42,000 fine. But a guy like this one on the screen, I put the link in the chat. That's a good one to look at. So if y'all got any other questions about this, if you have any other questions about this, or if Bills wants to say something about it, because Bills just came in. If he has any questions about or any comments about it, he can ask or just put anything in the chat. Will be highly appreciated.
Yeah, because right now I'm still trying to find the video I saw last night.
Doug Thomas just came in. How you doing? The last hour and 10 minutes, you missed a lot, and I really hope you go back and really watch or listen to what we had to say. It's very important. Bills, you got anything?
Man, fuck these motherfuckers, man. Like, honestly, it's crazy that we keep running into this fucking issue as gamers where we can't just game socially in peace.
Can't upload
can't upload in peace. Can't just have a podcast without saying the word whatever and getting fined $42,000. We could literally have a podcast with every other word being a curse word, and if you say whatever once, you'll get fined $42,000.
Right, exactly.
It's absolutely ridiculous. YouTube sold us all. Them motherfuckers fucked up, and now they want us to clean up the mess. And it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit, but just gotta move past it. Unfortunately,
yeah,
I'm probably gonna delete all my videos. I don't want to take a chance. I have a bunch of covers that I've posted, a bunch of music covers. I gotta fucking either go and check those or delete those. It's annoying, bro. Like I can't even do.
And you know what? That's actually a good question. Has that been something you discussed with your manager?
I mean, there's plenty of avenues I can go. I can just keep my shit on Smule and not post it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. The only reason I really post it on YouTube is because the converting to MP3 is a bit easier when you post it on YouTube. That's the only reason why I use YouTube for it. But I honestly don't really need YouTube.
No, I'm gonna be honest. It's getting to the point where none of us need it because it's. Thank God for Twitch. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Thank God for those guys and they're trying to do what they do because once Just Chatting came up, I initially when DJ made the idea episode 30 for us to do live streams, I actually was thinking about doing a dual, trying to find a way to do both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but I just never got around to it. Right. But thank God that they're actually letting us, talk about games over there. So that's an avenue.
Wait a second.
What?
Loophole. So if we do it from Twitch, but then still stream to YouTube, but does the video actually still save on YouTube even though the source is Twitch?
Yeah, it does.
Damn. I was looking for a loophole.
Yeah,
good idea though.
It is a good idea, but it does. It does. Anything that I live stream on the channel, it will stick. The only thing I would have to do, which would help, with no telling, because you might have one of those days that the FTC is watching, like right after the live stream, delete it clean off YouTube. That's why the only way I'll do it. But if they catch us a time that we're actually live and they're coming by and like, oh, these dudes are live. Oh, they slick. They think they can delete their stuff as soon as they're done. Oh, I got that 42 coming to you.
I could completely see like a whole room of them like watching our podcast.
Right.
And they're just listening like, these motherfuckers think they slick.
Hey, yo, they already said it. The dude. Hold on. I'm gonna
trust me, they got the manpower.
I'm gonna play it again.
Oh God.
The analogy that I think of is the expression about shooting fish in a barrel. YouTube is the barrel and the content creators are the fish. There will be consequences for content creators. We have a variety of tools at our disposal to cull through those 23 million channels and
right there.
And he's the main one touching little boys, talking about we gonna go.
Yeah, they're gonna find out something on him where he's probably got like a whole library full of little kids.
Good. He looks like a version of Alex Jones that was bullied during fucking middle school. Fucking
like I said, he said that they have tools to go through 23 million channels. Like,
yeah, because you know what he just said. Children appeal to analogies. How about that?
They probably
should find him.
They probably have
that statement.
They probably have a setup similar to card fraud.
Kids eat fish.
Yeah.
Where
they like water and they like shooting in a barrel.
And all they do is detect
card fraud. Yep. They just look at transactions all day. They have 10 to 20 different accounts up, at one time. And that's probably what they have there.
Right.
And they literally get paid to watch your videos, go through your channel, look to see if you have everything labeled correctly. Not that it really matters at a certain point.
Look at your thumbnail. Look at the words.
Look at your thumbnails. Yep.
Yeah. Doug Thomas, right? Yeah. Yeah. Dumb fucks already disliking the video. I mean, I'm not saying that you should like or dislike this video, but I don't see there's a reason to dislike information that this valuable.
To me, at this point, subject matter preferred or whatever. We basically. I feel like that these dislikes are irrelevant now. So it's not even the point of even explaining just dislikes that at any point. If the person dislikes it, they dislike it. So what?
There shouldn't be a dislike button.
You know what? NA starting to play a little bit too much.
He said, I think you should reform the sim standard with getting.
Yeah, we probably get in trouble with Twitch. We ain't supposed to be working with kids.
They probably call us turncoats. How y'all gonna turn to the dumbasses after y'all were doing so good? Now you come over here and want to start communicating with people who don't know what a cover 3 is.
And
Get y'all's ass off here.
And I'm gonna be dead serious. A lot of you guys who go back and listen to this, the podcast on iTunes, the popularity on those podcasts has been going up significantly. And I want to thank you guys for that, because that helps. I mean, we have to crawl before we walk. And I'm not trying to say this is going to be a career for any of us, but I want to get in a position to where not you guys give us money. I want to be able to truly monetize this, so these guys that come here without getting paid get something. And the more exposure that we get, the closer we get to that. And I'm not talking about money off YouTube. That shit's dead.
Yeah, how's that stream?
Let's not talk.
Yeah, how's that intro champ money looking like?
Let me tell you what. I'll be honest. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be honest with you. Throughout the first time I did the first intro champ up until today, that intro champ link only made us $2
Damn, I could have had a ham sandwich.
Let me tell you something, DJ. You know good and well VF got enough money for one of them fines by now off the intro champ. Just sitting in a bank account somewhere. But yeah, I mean,
that's why I don't promote it as much. I think it's a great avenue for people who make content. But look what's going on now.
Yeah, nobody make content. with. So
they're fantastic intros. The intros are great, but
intro champs like I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, intro champs looking at this like the FTC is fucking us up too.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lose-lose for everybody. But listen, we're gonna dwell into stuff one. Once the new year comes into monetization, because with Twitch, it's a little different. We don't necessarily have to ask, but they give us avenues to do it like straight, completely optional. I'll just put it like that. They're more like YouTube makes us want, they kind of push us in a direction where they want us to ask you for money. Patreon, click like button and stuff like that. With Twitch, if you're there, everything is optional. The PayPals, the bits, all that stuff you want to pay us in other forms, all that stuff is optional. So it may become a way where we're just,
I got a link.
It just might be a link where you can just go. Exactly. I got a link up to you to click it. That's kind of what YouTube tried to do with that gray button with the dollar sign. They tried to do the super chat. That's where that came from. It came from where Twitch had something like that. So,
so here's a funny thing I just thought about. So y'all were talking about before how if you make kids content, like they're gonna really limit your options on YouTube as far as just getting rid of buttons and shit like that. The highest grossing YouTuber is a kid that reviews toys.
He's done.
Just think about that.
He's done. He's a kid already, and he's reviewing toys. He's done.
He's a kid that reviews toys.
The FTC is going to beat him like he stole something.
That's insane.
And then on top of that, all the people who just may have uploaded once or twice just to store, because it's not even just content creators. People may have just uploaded videos just to have a place to store them.
You know what? And I'm gonna tell you who's gonna see that fucking game.
No. That's the downside of YouTube, because I really want to see that game.
Let me tell you something. Them motherfuckers that are back there slaving, making them bean pies, they probably seen him making that fake ass game.
What if the FTC sees that shit and they don't even find him? They just feel so sorry for him. Like, you know what? We're just gonna take this shit down.
I'm gonna call the ass out for that. Everybody can get it. Find that motherfucker for fake advertising.
They might feel so bad for him. They might give that motherfucker money to make a better game.
Yeah, okay, please. I find him for them fucking poisonous ass smoothie videos he be making.
He's like, you know what? This game's so terrible. Here's $20, man. Do something with yourself.
Yeah, okay. He's over there making them date rape ass smoothies.
Wow.
Putting Lord knows what in there.
Y'all got any other questions with COPPA? I mean, if anything, I guess we can touch on the picks that we had before we go.
Well, I don't have much for that because I stopped watching after that bullshit no call in the Texans game, and I boycotted the NFL for the rest of the day. So I'm just gonna read the picks off, and y'all can go ahead and y'all can talk about it.
No, actually, I feel better. Just roll off the picks.
Yeah. Hey, if y'all got if y'all got any questions about COPPA or whatever, just put it in the chat, and I'll post it. So,
like COPPA is like short for copper plea,
right? Or COPPA police.
Copper, yeah, copper. That's what they used to call the cops back in the 70s. Copper.
Yeah, that's
I thought that was like a 40s thing.
You never take me alive, COPPA. No, we're not gonna take you alive, but we're gonna get them pockets.
Yeah, right.
Like see.
You're right.
Oh man. All right, so the Steelers-Browns game ended 21-7. DJ had it 28-14 Steelers, and
I said 24-7 or
you said 21-3.
Yeah, I said 21-3 or 24-7, but
you were the closest.
I'll stick with 21-3 because I said that first.
Because I said 24-14.
Yeah, but we didn't know hell was gonna break loose with 8 seconds.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about that. I ain't got nothing, but you can go ahead. I have nothing.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, because that has to be talked about.
So here's my thing. Okay, now all three of us have played football.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure all three of us have gotten in some type of altercation on the football field, and we've been wearing helmets, right? This is fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, I thought about this. For a couple days. Like, would there ever be a situation where I would hit somebody with a helmet? And for the longest time, I told myself, no, I wouldn't. And I thought about it, and I thought about how mild-mannered Myles Garrett is. And the only thing I could come up with was Mason Rudolph called him the N-word.
That's what I was thinking.
Because Myles Garrett is the nicest. Hell, a fan ran up and snuffed him after asking him for an autograph. He didn't chase him down to beat his ass.
Exactly.
So
forget about that.
It's a possibility.
So, but let's get past that. We've gone over that so many times about the whole Myles Garrett situation. Everybody has their opinions. I'm not gonna tell anybody they're wrong. I've done that enough for the past week.
I didn't want to add anything to it. When I was playing football, we were taught if in football and if a person's helmets come off, that's when everything stops.
Right.
Regardless if it's pulled off or if it's knocked off, everything stops because of safety. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm not trying to say that Myles Garrett was justified or Mason Rudolph, did this, because I think that Mason Rudolph did start it. I will say that, but I was taught, like, even if somebody pulled the helmet off, everybody say, wait a minute, play's over. We don't want nobody to get hurt. We fall back. If you want to get them after the game or whatever the case may be, catch them in the street. That's what we were taught.
Right.
And you know what? And shout out goes to DeCastro. He's trying to play peacemaker in the whole thing, even protecting him from Pouncey. Protecting him from Pouncey.
Yeah, Pouncey's a bitch and needs to be jumped.
He trying to kick somebody in the head.
He needs to be jumped.
Punch the helmet with his fist.
He deserves far worse than what Mason Rudolph did get, because Pouncey had no hand in any of this. He didn't even take Myles Garrett down. DeCastro took him down, and then he starts kicking him like a bitch, because that's what he is. He's a bitch.
Yeah, while DeCastro's on top of him. Yeah, that is.
Pouncey's been doing bitch shit like this for the longest time. I knew he was a bitch based on how he was speaking on the Le'Veon Bell situation, and he's done bitch shit before this in Ravens games and other games. He's just a bitch. But the thing I want to talk about Baker Mayfield. Now,
oh God. He didn't help. He didn't help Myles Garrett at all.
Exactly. So Baker Mayfield is apparently friends with Mason Rudolph, and he basically condemned Myles Garrett on national TV. Instead of saying no comment, he just basically condemned him and completely took Mason Rudolph's side, essentially. And as the quarterback of your team, to pull some bitch shit like that, I don't know how anybody
after the game.
I would have beat his ass if I was Myles. I would be like, yo, you think
he would have got his ass beat.
Right,
bro,
right.
The whole defensive side of the field, the whole defense should have been on his ass about that, especially how he's been playing. And then you come out and we already were losing faith in you, but then you do that. Nah, fuck that, bro. He's a clown for that. Like, he's a complete clown for that. Like, I don't care about the Mason Rudolph and Myles Garrett situation. What happened, but Mayfield, bro.
It's like it doesn't matter what happened between what happened. But it's you as the quarterback, and you're not the best player on the team, but people gonna look at you as the face of the team.
Yeah.
You don't throw your players under the bus. If anything, you just say you have no comment. We'll discuss it. I'll discuss my comments with Myles Garrett behind closed doors. If you have any questions, go talk to the coach. I just can't talk about this right now.
And he didn't say one line. He said a diatribe about it. He kept going. It was like, when is he going to shut the fuck up? Like, it's not like he just said, well, you can't have that in the football field. No, he kept going. It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck if you're friends with Mason Rudolph or not. That is not how you conduct yourself in a post-game interview when you're talking about your teammate.
Right.
Outside of somebody pulling out a fucking gun or knife on the field, it's a fight, bro. It's a fight. And Myles Garrett, and honestly, a lot of people who are fucking logical see that Mason Rudolph started it.
And the thing about what Doug Thomas is saying, he said never take sides against the fan. It's not even about taking sides. You have to understand the situation that's going on. It's not about taking sides. He was just better off just shutting hell up.
But more importantly, though, I get what Doug Thomas is saying.
I get what
I
he's
was
saying
taught to have a united front
True, I agree. You are.
But even if you don't have a united front, just say nothing, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You got to understand, Baker Mayfield is in a tough spot at this point. If you would played it smart, you can't take sides with Myles Garrett because they're going to come after you for thinking you're condoning something like that, and you can't say that you're against them because everybody. The first thing they said, oh, Mason Rudolph is his friend. We didn't know that, but that's the first thing that they said once they found out. He said this is unacceptable. That's the first thing that they said. The main thing that he should have did was, I'm not in a position to talk about this. Refer to my coach.
I guarantee you, if Baker Mayfield was in that fight, he would have pled the fifth.
Exactly.
But it wasn't his neck on the line. So it's just an issue I have. And he's just proven Colin Cowherd to be right as far as his leadership. But,
another person that should have kept their mouth shut was JP Davis.
Oh,
he definitely should have kept his mouth shut. And when I shut his mouth, he definitely didn't say anything else to me that day.
JP Davis has proven himself to be one of those people that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about in the subject, but they continue to talk in circles and make it seem try to make it seem like they know what they're talking about, and they just come across more and more bigoted, more and more ignorant as far as the situation is concerned, to the point where it's like, bro, stop opening your mouth. That's what it comes down to.
The main thing that I ask of this guy is, when you respond to a tweet that I put out or something that I retweet and quote, ask questions. Don't be that person. Don't assume anything. Ask me the questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Don't look like a fool assuming one thing and then getting your ass handed to you and then going back to whatever block you live on with the tail tucked between your legs because you can't figure out what the hell is going on. So,
and I tweeted at him. He didn't say shit to me because he knew that there was nothing he could say to counteract what I said. I brought nothing but facts to him, which clearly he doesn't know the definition of the word facts.
What's the next? That's the next game. The dude's a clown. I have nothing for him.
Fucking Packers fan. Anyway, next game was the Jets and the Redskins. Jets took this one 34-17.
I'm surprised they put up 34 points.
TJ was the only one to take the Jets. Once again, I'm not going to have anything on these games, so y'all can take it away.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised the Jets put up 34 points.
The point of the game, well, the highlight of the game to me was McLaren making that Moss-like catch. That was crazy. Didn't even put his hands on the receiver. He just kept his hands like the police had a gun on him. He had his hands up the whole entire time and took it away from the dude. But other than that, it was sad to watch that O-line perform the way they did. It was just sad. The defense was even worse. Ryan Griffin, really? This man had 2 touchdowns, and our starting corners were benched for the rest of the game. We had like a rookie. We had a couple of like second-year players playing for the rest of the game, but Norman, he's done. He on both the Griffin, I think on both touchdowns that was scored like almost back to back or whatever, it was Norman in the area playing short when there was a guy already covering short, and he's supposed to either covering his his lane in either cover 4 or cover 3, but he wants to jump the short route. And didn't Dante Whitner say something about him freelancing in the defense? And that's what happened. And other than that, Dwayne Haskins has the viral video of him on the sideline pleading with his old lineman. Basically, like, look, let me help you guys. What do you need from me? And the only person I was paying attention was Morgan Moses, but Morgan Moses can't say anything because I noticed from personal experience, I had a teammate, right? He was a right tackle, could tell you everything that broke down per play, blocking wise. You want to know why he was able to tell you? Because he wasn't doing a goddamn thing but watching.
Yeah.
So that's basically what happened to our offensive line. The Jets did their thing. Sam Darnold looked like a freaking Pro Bowl player out there. So,
like I said, I'm surprised they put up 34 points. I was surprised.
I'm not surprised. It was, like I said, it was at FedEx Field. The stadium was half empty, and they were chanting "Sell the team, sell the team," which is in my blog that I just released. So,
next game, Patriots and Eagles. Patriots took this one 17-10. I guess I can talk a little bit about this one. I watched the condensed version after I got over my fucking annoyance of the NFL for the day. I went back the next day and watched it. We all picked the Patriots. So basically, what I took from this game was the fact that the Eagles had two receivers out. They had their starting running back out. But at the same time, our defense is still dominant. Of course, the Patriots fans won't tell you that because, it's always just panic city here whenever we lose a game, especially one that we're supposed to lose, because then they always say, well, that team's not better than us. It was a fluke and, just stupid shit. Patriots played well from what I saw. Definitely well enough to win. Our offensive line still needs work, but we were facing one of the best defensive fronts in the league. But yeah, our defense is just dominant, man. It's a dominant force, and it's gonna help us through the playoffs. I still think that we are right now the favorites in the AFC. And yeah, the Eagles, they couldn't get anything going offensively. Honestly, they have no cohesion. Because, like I said, the number one receiver's out, number two receiver's out, number one running back's out.
No, I don't have much for the Eagles. I mean, I said it a long time ago. They're a mediocre team.
Just look at their fan base on Twitter.
I mean, they're a mediocre team that haven't found their identity.
Well,
they don't know who they are.
It doesn't help that Carson Wentz missed some throws that you just can't miss.
Well, you can't say that.
Well, we already talked about that.
Well, they also got receivers they can't catch.
The thing that caught me by surprise, like you had some people that actually broke down and started to admit that Wentz was not playing well. You had some people that actually started. Then you actually had some people that are Eagles fans that actually starting to believe that Wentz is not as good as advertised. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but these guys was putting this guy on a pedestal as one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. I never thought he was that, even when he was having this MVP season. I just thought he was a really good quarterback. But Eagle Nation, it takes them a lot to say something different about him.
Well, it's like I always say, 98% of sports fans that are fans of a team or fans of a player are just complete and utter. They don't ever participate in the realm of reality. It's always bias
it's okay.
And imagination.
It's okay to defend your quarterback. It's okay to think highly of your quarterback. But when you see them doing something wrong, you sometimes just can't blame the receiver. You can't blame the protection. You can't blame all this. Sometimes the quarterback just having a bad day, a bad stench of weeks. It just happens.
I think there is an issue defending your quarterback, though. Because when you defend somebody, a lot of times you're not talking based on facts. You're talking based on feelings. And you bring what you consider facts to the table because you're tired of seeing them get hammered on. When in reality, it's not really them getting hammered on. It's just people speaking facts about them. So I never defend any player on the Patriots or any other team I cheer for. I tell it like it is. If a guy's getting hammered, there's a reason he's getting hammered. And that's the issue is these sports fans defend players instead of telling it like it is.
Right. I mean, just look at the Falcons defense prior to the last 2 weeks. I mean, it was abysmal. And I have no problem talking bad about them.
Right.
It is what it is. But,
people can't come out and all of a sudden say, well, VFC, like, no.
No, I know when my team's trash, Right. Like, what's the next game?
Next game was the Cowboys and the Lions. Cowboys took this one 35-27. Of course, DJ took Lions, which
I'm actually
didn't look like that bad of a pick in retrospect.
It wasn't. Yeah. It's just that when Matthew Stafford's not playing, it's tough to bet for. I mean, go with them.
Jeff Driscoll.
I'm actually surprised how well Dak has been playing.
15. Well, let's go with Jeff Driscoll real quick. 15 for 26, 209, 2 touchdowns. Not
bad.
Surprising to say the least. I think most people expected this to be a blowout, but we know what Detroit really is, and like I said, we saw them win a game in Green Bay and have it taken.
They're not a bad team. It's just that when you don't have your quarterback, then things do change a bit. But Jeff Driscoll
and your running back,
the carry on is not playing. But like I said, the backups did step up. I admit that.
Zeke had his second straight. Well, not a second straight bad game. Second game in 3 games in which he didn't play well. 16 carries for 45 yards. That's just not going to get it done. Dak put up big stats: 29 for 46, 444, and 3 touchdowns. Gallup had a good day: 9 catches for 148 yards. Zeke got to start putting up some better. I know they're kind of stacking the box like they usually do against him, but it's not nearly as much as they used to. Because
I think that if the Dallas Cowboys go far in the playoffs, this is one. I don't think Zeke is going to be able to give you 100 yards a game, but the threat of him,
give you 100.
No, I'm just saying the threat of him giving you 100 is going to open up that passing game, and I think that it's either Dak is going to thrive with the passing game, and that's going to lead them far in the playoffs, or they're going to have a balance so well that you're going to have where Dak can get possibly 270 yards passing with Zeke having 120 rushing.
It's going to have to be similar to the old Cowboys where Aikman plays well in the playoffs and, Zeke carries him through the season. But right now,
right.
I mean, against the Lions, fine. You snuck out of that one. But against the Vikings, this happened and you saw what happened. So they're going to have to get that together.
Right. I agree.
The next game was the Jaguars and the Colts. The Colts thumped these dudes 33-13.
I saw that coming.
We all picked the Jags except DJ. I should say we all picked the Colts except DJ. DJ took the Jags, and Nick Foles burns them again. Nick Foles went 33 for 47, 296, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Brissett, 15 for 24, 148, a touchdown and a pick.
Those not good numbers.
Yeah, kind of pedestrian, especially considering how he has been playing.
Right.
Jonathan Williams, I have no idea what this guy is. 13 carries for 116 yards. So that was clearly the difference.
Okay.
And you don't really expect the Jaguars to give up a day like that rushing, especially to an unknown guy, but fuck. They didn't get much. They didn't get much going through the air from what I'm seeing. 4 catches for 38 yards was their leading receiver. Jaguars, they're going to continue to struggle to find a way to put up points, it seems like. Foles or Gardner, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you go scoreless in the second and the third quarter and 2 field goals in the fourth, it's not going to get it done.
I mean, it's the Jags. I mean, what can you expect,
Mediocrity. But the next game was the Bills and the Dolphins. VF took the Dolphins, and let's just say no. That didn't work out. The Bills won this one 37-20.
Yeah, he was getting a little too happy with them Dolphins.
Josh Allen showed out, 21 for 33, 256, and 3 touchdowns.
Ryan swam with the fishes and drowned.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick put up a bunch of stats and had no touchdowns to show for it. 32 for 45, 323, no touchdowns, like I said. Their running back, Kalen Ballage, had 9 carries for 9 yards.
Well, you're not going to win any game running the ball like that.
You goddamn right you're not. Devontae Parker, 7 catches for 135 yards. He needs to find his way out of that sorry-ass situation. He's been a budding star there this year, but he's just kind of a diamond surrounded by shit right now. JJ Brown, John Brown played well. 9 catches, 437 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, Bill's still looking dominant. I feel like they're going to get a wild card spot, and 7-3. The Dolphins might have already won too many games to win that sweepstakes for starting quarterback because the Bengals are.
Yeah, the Bengals are going to end up getting that.
Yeah, the Bengals end up getting that one. So I don't know. The Dolphins is going to fuck around and win too many games, it looks like. The next game is the Vikings and the Broncos. The Vikings took this one 27-23.
Well,
It didn't
Broncos.
look like they were going to take it.
No,
Yeah.
the Broncos,
Yeah, they were down big. I saw.
Yeah, the Broncos was up 20-0, and they let them come back.
Yeah. Big time comeback. I mean, 20-0 at halftime. Brandon Allen, 17 for 39, 240, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. I knew it wasn't Flacco that was cooking him.
Yeah, Flacco's on the injured reserve right now.
Yes.
Right.
Kirk Cousins apparently came on strong late. He only had 6 incompletions, 29 for 35, 319, 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook didn't have too good of a day, but the front 7 for the Broncos are pretty good, so I'll forgive it.
All right, so he's at 21 touchdowns for the season.
Who?
We're talking about Kirk Cousins. So
Okay.
I'm constantly tracking when he hits the 30 touchdown threshold.
Oh, I think he'll probably get there this year.
Yeah, that's what we said before. He did it last year. He broke 30, but that was it. 30. See if he can get 31, maybe 33. I'm like, he should have been averaging 30 plus touchdowns at least after 2015, but no.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't say it's par for the course, but it's kind of like once you get to that 6 to 10 range, as far as top 10 quarterbacks, you should be getting up to 30 touchdowns.
Right.
So
especially
next,
when you got Mahomes getting 50.
Yeah, in his first year starting.
Right. So yeah.
The next game was the Saints and the Buccaneers. Saints took this one 34-17, and my dumbass picked the Bucs. So there you go.
I saw the Saints win now. That was expected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stats wise, we had 1 second. Drew Brees 28 for 35, 228, 3 touchdowns. Jameis Winston 4 picks. I'm not gonna read the rest of the stats. He had 4 picks. He was also their leading rusher, 2 carries for 23 yards. That's not gonna get it done. Mike Thomas, another big game, 8 catches for 114 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, Saints looking pretty good. I don't buy it once playoff time comes around, but it's just me. Next game, Falcons and the Panthers. What the fuck happened here? I'm gonna let you take this away, BF.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Falcons won 29-3.
Falcons trying to go 9-7 for the year.
Yeah,
and we all picked the Panthers. God damn it! So
yeah, I just think that what happened was that Dan Quinn gave the reins to the defense to Marquand Manuel and Jeff Albridge. Marquand Manuel calls the plays first and second down, and Albridge calls on the third and possibly fourth down. 4 picks, 5 sacks. They have not given up a touchdown in 8 quarters.
Yep, saw that.
Matter of fact, I take that back. 11 quarters, all the way back to the Seahawks game that they actually lost. But they haven't given up a touchdown in 11 quarters since Dan Quinn made that change. That's just the difference because the Falcons defense has been horrible prior to that.
Kyle Allen 4 picks.
Yeah, 4 picks.
Yeah, that's horrible.
He was sacked 5 times. Drew Brees, I think, when they played against the Saints last week and they beat up on the Saints 26-9, they sacked Drew Brees 6 times. Now, I don't know what the hell Marquand Manuel and Jeff Albridge is doing, but I love it because everybody clowned the Falcons defense first 7-6 weeks, and now they look totally different now.
And what I will say, everybody hammering on Kyle Allen, give it a rest. He's a rookie. He shouldn't have been. He didn't anticipate even being in this position.
I don't knock Kyle Allen for the performance because Drew Brees was just in that same predicament last week. If Drew Brees getting knocked around the week before, what you think gonna happen to him?
No, but I've seen dudes hammer Kyle Allen for the past 3 weeks, and they need to give it a rest. It's just like the Daniel Jones thing. Like, seriously. What happens is these guys get a little bit of hype, and then the folks who are so unhappy with that hype make unrealistic expectations for these guys. And as soon as they have a bad game, then it's, see, told you so. That's not how it works.
Right.
The next game, Ravens and the Texans. I have a lot to say about this. Well, first off, the Ravens won 41-7. Whoop-de-fucking-do. NFL, you created a fucking opportunity for teams to challenge pass interference calls.
They need to get rid of that shit.
And what happens? Fucking DeAndre Hopkins is literally tackled in the end zone on 4th down. You go back and review it after it's challenged, and you still don't reverse it. That made me not watch football for the rest of the day.
They need to get
Because
rid of that.
if you're going to institute a challenge system for pass interference, and you have the most egregious one yet this year, and you still don't overturn it, even to the point where the motherfucker that's always standing for y'all and protecting y'all in the booth, the former ref that's always protecting y'all, said it should have been pass interference. That's complete and utter bullshit. And I know that was the NFL pulling some strings in the background because it was 4th down. If that was 1st down, they would have overturned that shit. They know what they're doing. It was clear rigging. It was clear fixing. It was clear as fucking day. It got the Ravens all the momentum they needed because the Texans were driving down the field, and then 4th down comes. Deshaun Watson drops a perfect pass to DeAndre Hopkins. The motherfucker tackles him, and they don't reverse it.
They need to get rid of that entire challenge. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, because it's funny.
They haven't reversed one all year.
Well, they did. They reversed what
Maybe
would have been
one.
they won, and it happened in the Redskins Jets game.
Yeah, I think it was 1 or 2 overall in the entire season.
Yeah,
but it's been like what 25 or 30 challenges already.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they've reversed one, and that because originally in the Redskins Jets game this week they originally called pass interference on the receiver as offensive pass interference.
Right.
And maybe that's why they reversed it because originally it was supposed to be offensive pass interference. It was the receiver that got hit by the linebacker. They reversed it based off of that.
They were better off just leaving it the way it was if this is the case.
We talked about this before the season started, and I told this to Pooh when he was like, I understand why you stopped watching football. I said, they're not going to admit they are wrong about something that they can say is a subjective call, which is pass interference. There's no letter of the law where you can say, okay, definitively, this is pass interference, this is not pass interference. So, because it's not like holding and other shit like that, they're going to go and say, no, we think we got the call right. No matter how fucking egregious, and that was one of the most egregious pass interference missed calls I've seen ever. With the exception of last year, when the Saints bitched about it, that was one of the most egregious I have ever fucking seen. And they didn't overturn it even after it was challenged and reviewed. Unacceptable. Fucking unacceptable.
Pooh say he blames the Saints. I agree. I hate this rule. I hate it.
I blame the league that decided to overreact and kowtow to a team that was bitching about it because the league didn't have to do that.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just sick of it. They need to get rid of it.
Saints can complain all they want to. The league did not have to institute this rule. They can have all the bitch ass parades they want to.
Wasn't this isn't this like a trial run for this year or something?
It was supposed to be a trial run in the preseason, and then they instituted it. They said they didn't know if they were going to fully institute it. They said they were going to try it in the preseason.
Didn't they say that there was?
It was a whole bunch of things they were going to try out. They were trying out the preseason that they. Like the whole,
I honestly thought that this was just a
quarterback rule, and
this was supposed to be a trial in the preseason, and then it was a big thing because none of them got reversed in the preseason, and then the season came and they fully instituted it. You notice that everybody's falling on quarterbacks again, and nobody gives a fuck.
No, they're not falling on quarterbacks like they used to because. Well, I'll say this: I think they are. They're just not getting.
They're not calling it.
That's what I'm saying. They're not.
What happened was. Remember that time that guy towards ACL trying not to fall on somebody?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even just that. It was that Clay Matthews kept getting called for it, and he was trying to put his hands up like, hey, I'm not trying to fall on him. It's just physics.
That's what I'm saying. They're not calling it anymore. Yet and still, they have this bullshit-ass challenge system
I think
that they did is window dressing to say, okay, Saints, you can shut the fuck up now. We instituted it. And then when it comes time to fucking challenge it, they're going to not reverse it because this is a subjective call.
What's the next game?
Next game is the Cardinals and the 49ers. 49ers took this one 36-26.
Really, that
I
last
picked
score.
the Cardinals.
That
and
last score was like crazy because they scored the last touchdown with like 4 seconds left or something.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they like got a fumble at the end of the game or something.
Garoppolo, 34 for 45, 424, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and now the Garoppolo stands will come and say, "See, told you threw 2 picks. Cut it out." This has been his whole season. It's been give and take. It's been touchdown pick the whole year. Tevin Coleman, he's on my fantasy team. 12 carries and 14 yards. Good job, bud. Good job.
Well, at least he wasn't.
Kyler Murray, 24 for 33.
At least he wasn't injured because when he's in Atlanta, he's always injured.
At least he wasn't the Texans defense. They got -7, and they were on my bench for a reason.
Chris Thomas said, "You heard about the Dolphins running back got released for allegedly beating his He beat his pregnant
Which one?
girl. I can't remember his name, but he beat his pregnant girl. Let me tell you what he did.
No, not which girl.
No. Let me tell you what he did. He was already on 4-game suspension for something like this already, and during the suspension, he beats the girl up. Right.
I'm trying to figure who this wasn't Kenyon Drake.
It wasn't Kenyon. Kenyon Drake plays for the Cardinals now.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. I heard about it on the way home. I heard on the radio. He was already suspended 4 games for doing something like this already.
Yeah, he can have
And
it.
during the 4-game suspension, he beat his pregnant girl up.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He's like, the 4 games ain't enough.
Awful, yo.
That is awful. It's like he went home like, look what you made me do. You made me get suspended for 4 games.
That's like the stereotypical thing.
He's like, you made me get suspended for 4 games. You know damn well I want to get suspended for more. Come here.
Oh my god. The next game was the Raiders and the Bengals. The Raiders took this one 17-10. We all picked the Raiders.
Hey, y'all better watch out for these Raiders, man.
Yeah, okay. Derek Carr, 25 for 29, 292.
As long as they play at home.
Right.
Other than that, they stink on the road.
Yeah, Derek Carr, 25 29, 292, touchdown and a pick. Josh Jacobs, another good game, 23 carries, 112 yards. I'm not going to talk about the Bengals side. They suck. There's nothing to even address there.
Yeah, they getting Joe Burrow.
They get Joe Burrow easily.
Yeah.
The question is going to be, with this Tua injury, what happens to all the other teams that are in the market?
You know what? I want to talk about that later. I don't want to say nothing about it now because they said he's going to have a full recovery, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's playing again. Hip injuries is nothing to play with. Bo Jackson had a full recovery, and look what happened.
But you know what? Did you know what they said? If they would have known, if they had the knowledge that all it was about reattaching the muscle to the bone as fast as possible, Bo Jackson would have still been playing.
That's true. You're right.
That's all it was.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. We'll definitely get to that. The next game.
Hold on. The FIFA Pro Player scandal on Polygon. We're gonna talk about that next episode.
The next game was the Rams and the Bears. The Rams took this one 17-7. Looking at the stats here, it seems like pretty much just paint by the numbers shit. Mr. Trubisky, 24 for 43, 190, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. I expect nothing less. Jared Goff, 11 for 18, 173. Once again, I expect nothing less. Tariq Cohen, 9 carries for 39 yards. Todd Gurley, 25 for 97.
I'm surprised that Todd Gurley got more touches. He don't usually get that many.
It's about time.
Right.
I just thought about something because I was having the CPU play each other. I pit the Bears against the Rams,
right? And
I kind of flipped the home field, so it was in Chicago, and it was snowing, and the score pretty much was almost the same score, except the Bears only scored 3 points, and the Rams scored 18.
Yeah, Mr. Trubisky,
trash.
He's had he's gone opposite direction.
Ravens Nation also asked. Let me put this up.
Like we talk about Gorilla Game.
Yeah, don't forget, guys. Yep, it is Q&A as well.
Yeah,
so
he said. Yeah, I know. I forgot. I want to apologize for Chris Thomas. I couldn't reach the mouse and I couldn't put his question up. Ravens Nation asks, when can we talk about Gorilla Games potentially releasing another SOCOM? I want to talk about it when I get a little bit more information because everything right now is just straight rumor and there's no information out. So
yeah, I think somebody asked about that last podcast.
yeah, they did, and that's the reason why I said I wanted to talk about it this week or today, but there's still no information. Definitely, I want to talk about this FIFA Pro scandal, and I want to talk about Google Stadia. That really needs to be talked about because we really need to talk about that next episode because that thing is monster trash.
All right, the last game was the Chiefs and the Chargers, 24-17. The Chiefs took this one. Forgot last game. DJ took the Rams. Me and you took the Bears, and look who had the egg on our face.
We took the Bears.
We took the fucking Chargers, and look who had the egg on their face.
But see, that's the thing, though, man. The Chargers played so good against the Packers. You would think that they would do something.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you,
Rivers needs to hang that shit up.
No, I was about to say, to be honest with you, the Chargers defense wasn't the problem. They played pretty decent.
They weren't. Well, you got Philip Rivers throwing 4 picks.
The defense can't do nothing about it.
And I saw the replay of the game on today, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll watch it because my boycott of NFL is pretty much over.
Yeah, it's like, but on the real though, it's like the defense can't do. Yeah, the defense can't do nothing about the quarterback throwing 4 picks. I mean, they
said that Philip Rivers, his stat in close games is the worst win-loss record of any quarterback who's ever played the game.
I've been talking about Philip Rivers being a fraud for so many years, and everybody, he's so hard on Philip Rivers. What did I say a couple podcasts ago? All of the issues with the Chargers in crunch time and in the playoffs have all been on his watch. All of them. All the people that have come and gone, what's the constant? Philip Rivers. All those coaches he's been through. What's the constant? Philip Rivers. You can go from Wisenhunt to you name it. He's been there and he's been failing when it matters the most. And yesterday was no fucking different.
I agree.
Mahomes didn't even have that great of a game. 19 for 32, 182 yards. Yeah, 1 touchdown and 1 pick.
The Chargers defense actually played pretty good.
Philip Rivers, 28 for 52, 353, 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions.
28 for 52.
28 for 52. He had 4 picks. I'm sorry, but at some point, you need to take Old Yeller back behind that shed and put him out of his misery.
No, put a rocker on at least.
You know, I would not be surprised that they'll be in the market for a quarterback next year.
Melvin Gordon only had 14 carries. Their backup running back, led the team in receiving. That means he was being checked down Charlie, and then the fourth quarter came, and he started launching the ball downfield, and he didn't have the arm for it, and they started getting picked up with it, which is exactly what happened because I watched the game. Phil Rivers got to go. You got to go. Period. You got to go. They need to be in the market for Cam Newton. They need to be in the market. They need to try to trade up in the draft. They need to do something about the quarterback position ASAP because they have way too good of a defense. They have way too good of a running back in that backfield. They have way too many good targets to squander this. And they only have a 2 or 3 year window.
All right, I got a question. Who's gonna oil the chair?
This
wanting to chime in.
this chair,
because that chair was just like, excuse me.
Yeah, this chair is really bad. My son is moving around in my lap, so I'm moving around as well.
I thought he was rocking the baby.
No, I'm not. This
chair was singing the lullaby.
Right.
I had this chair ever since I built my first PC back in 2013. This is an old chair, so my wife
one time you thought to sprinkle some oil on that bad.
No, I'm already in the process of getting a new one. My wife told me don't buy one. Wink, wink. So Christmas coming around, my birthday's coming up.
Black Friday coming around.
No, I'm not. I don't get gifts on Black Friday. But
sounds like Philip Rivers type of chair.
Yeah, all bark and no bite.
Yeah, so I was gonna buy one. I was gonna buy one like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, "Don't buy one." So I kind of got the picture. So, yeah, I will be having one shortly. We got any more games?
That's it.
That was it. Okay. What else y'all got, man? Y'all want to talk about COPPA again?
Fuck that.
Hell no.
Fuck that COPPA.
I mean, we can discuss more stuff about channels being taken away.
Yeah, I think y'all covered it.
We're good.
How we doing this again?
Is the expression about shooting fish in a barrel. YouTube is the barrel, and the content creators are the fish. There will be consequences for content creators. We have a variety of tools at our disposal.
The sad part is that he sounds like Ryan Moody.
Channels, and
I was about to say that before.
So when we talk about this, we are typically
Well, I mean,
fucking shut down YouTube.
well, shit, Moody's about to shut down his channel for real because
fucking COPPA 21.
If you watch his videos, he's like dead ass serious. He's not trying to.
Did you say one of his ideas was to put all his videos behind a paywall?
Yeah, he was actually thinking about putting the stuff on Patreon. So
Maximum Football already kind of does that. So
it's like he's already saying he's out, and we already talked about going to Twitch. I got to get a little more ideas as far as
like I'm not going to be back with more content.
Right, exactly. I just need to know if the chat links up, then I'm all for it. So I'm gonna look into that within the next couple of weeks.
Shooting fish in a barrel is gonna be my new quote. Really? You never heard of it?
Y'all got anything?
Like, if anything, the phrase that everyone usually hears is crabs in a barrel.
Yeah, crabs in a barrel, yeah. But that's like a completely different connotation.
Yeah, that's more racial.
Yeah. You want to talk about Tua? You said you was gonna talk about him?
No, I want to wait to see what happens with this.
Yeah, because they still.
Because I don't
he
even
was dancing in his hospital bed. I know that much.
Yeah, I don't even know if clip. Yeah, did they start the surgery yet? Do you know?
Well,
I don't know.
They may have.
Yeah, they may have, but I just haven't heard anything.
It's Tuesday, but going on Wednesday, and I saw it. He was already in the hospital bed, and I saw that clip of him kind of like. I was just like, dude, you hurt your hip. I'm like, you injured your hip, and you're moving around.
Yeah, he had surgery. He had surgery.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get down to because a lot of people saying that he shouldn't have played, and Nick Saban's at fault. I'm like, you only saying that because he got hurt. If he never got hurt,
like get that Hawaiian N-word on the field. I need all these W's.
Yeah, that's true. But
that's probably what Saban did.
But let's be honest. If he never got hurt, nobody wouldn't have said that. Let's just keep it 100.
But the thing was,
that's why I don't buy it
beforehand.
I still don't buy it. You play football, you're gonna get hurt.
There's no way to
on the Miami Dolphins some years back. No.
I just don't buy it. It's like people say it after the fact. You're not saying it during.
There's no way Tua should have been benched.
Well, no one can predict when someone is going to get hurt.
Exactly. So
the thing is that this is like RG3 all over again. The college version of it. Guys, what are you doing putting them all on the field?
But you know what the issue is, though? Here's the issue. The coach never gets the criticism if he sits a guy down. The player does. Okay? So with Jadeveon Clowney sat out, and they talked about him like a fucking dog. They you're leaving your teammates out to dry.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. Because y'all the same people now, Paul Feinbaum with his fucking bald, big-headed ass that don't know shit about football, talking about, Tua cost himself playing. But y'all were the same people that judged Jadeveon. Keep that same energy.
No. Hold up. How are you going to say he cost himself millions when y'all are the same ones not even a day ago, not even 3 days ago? Soon as they lost to LSU, can Tua and Alabama find their way back into the playoff hunt?
That's what I'm saying. That's
why this
it's bullshit.
It's disingenuous. Exactly. Y'all are worrying about this man getting back in the playoff hunt after they lose to LSU, but as soon as he get hurt, he shouldn't have played.
He's damned if he does. He's damned if he doesn't. If Tua came out and said he wasn't going to play the rest of the year, it would be, the college brought him here to play football, and
not only that, it's like, and this is say he's in the hunt to win a national title again, even though with that one loss. Why is he sitting down? But as soon as he get hurt, he cost himself millions. If you don't set your punk ass up and get slapped out, I don't get it.
I can't stand Paul Feinbaum's bitch ass, bro. I really can't.
And it's not even Paul Feinbaum. It's other people that do that shit
but
too.
It's mostly him because he's one of the clowns that have been around college football forever and still don't get out of the fucking sport works. And he sits up there on his fucking soapbox. And that's why I was glad Ryan Clark rashed his sorry ass. He probably couldn't even throw a football back to his father when he was little. Sorry ass. and he's gonna sit up there and talk about Tua like a dog. He's a fucking idiot, bro. And everybody else is just falling in line. And it's ridiculous when you think about it, because all these players in the past that have thought about sitting out and they got bashed for it.
Like
but
I
Tua,
said,
he cost himself millions.
like I said, soon after the LSU game, one of the first things they said was, can Tua lead this team back into the top 4?
Yep.
That is one of the first things they said. Oh, we're happy that they only dropped to number 5 because they still got a chance. But as soon as they're hurt, oh, he shouldn't have been playing. That makes no sense. But I don't have anything else. Y'all got anything else before we go?
No,
Hold up. Let me see if you can post this real quick. I'm gonna send it in the private chat. You can post this just to just on top of what's been going on, what's still going on with the Houston Astros. If you want to, put that picture up.
Side note, they can take this load management bullshit and stick it up their ass. As far as the NBA is concerned, I'm tired of this shit. Paul George has been back for almost a week now, and him and Kawhi haven't even played on the court at the same time. He's sitting in and ain't even back-to-backs. Get your ass out there and play some basketball, man. Fuck that shit.
I respect players like Bradley Beal. Even though the team was out of it towards the end of the season, he still wound up finishing every single game.
I don't care if you sit out games towards the middle of the season. Motherfucker, you're sitting out games in the first however many road games.
I'll be right back.
You want to sit out home games? Fine. Your team has your team fans, I should say, has plenty of opportunity to see you. You're sitting out road games against Eastern Conference teams that see you once. It's bullshit. That's where the NBA has to step in, and they swear, oh, these players have an excuse. Ain't no excuse. I don't have that fake standard of playing 82 games. I think it's complete and utter bullshit. But at the same time, we're in like week 3 of the season, and players are already sitting out. It's complete and utter bullshit. It's ridiculous.
Watching the NBA of the past, this is, to me, it's inexcusable. What else are you guys? What else are these players doing? And why are these coaches it's like one
there's a way to do it
that is causing them to not be able to play at least 75 games a season. You're talking about players are going to max out at like 65 games.
Because there's a way to do it. Just play 20 games. Or not 20 games. Just play 20 minutes within a game.
That's what I'm saying. You got to spread out those minutes, but you got
why they're not going to do
that load up their minutes, right? That load up their minutes throughout the season.
They're not going to do that, though.
34, 35, like playoff type minutes in the regular season.
But now I figure why they're not going to do that, though. They're not going to play 20 minutes because that'll hurt their averages. If Kawhi Leonard
on the court, then
if Kawhi Leonard goes out there and plays 33 minutes and averages 26 points, and then comes out one night and plays 20 minutes, he's only going to get about 17 points. So they're not going to do that. They're just going to sit him out. I get it. You shouldn't be doing it in week 3 of the season. I'm sorry. This knee bullshit with Kawhi was not there was no talk about that until the season came. Now all of a sudden he has a knee issue. Give me a fucking break. Seriously.
All right. Is VF back?
He's still
I need him to post that picture so people can see it.
Yeah, it's just like, I'd be damned if I buy Celtics tickets and I go to see LeBron, and LeBron doesn't do this, but I go to see LeBron and they come to Boston once a year and that motherfucker's sitting out. Not hurt, nothing. Just sitting out. Bullshit. Utter bullshit.
Oh, you know what? This is what I wanted to do. I want to take this time to apologize to you, Bills, because remember how we were talking about John Wall and this man out here dunking. I think you're right. I think this dude may be playing by at least
I hope he is. He's one of my favorite players, and I miss seeing him play. It's been a while.
He was taking shots because I remember we were talking about like how
the recovery
was going through the process, and it just seemed like, okay, well, he's just practicing, like, in the practice facility. Then he's shooting around before the games, and he's doing all the dribble moves. I was like, wait, hold up, this man's leading on, like, he's not. I think with you possibly being correct on this, I think it's another case of under promise, over deliver.
And I could tell how smooth. I could tell by how smooth he was moving and how seamless he was moving. I'm like, yeah, that's John Wall. That's not John Wall having to get back acclimated completely. That's John Wall right there. So, and honestly, I wouldn't play him this year if I was the Wizards, because you have a lot.
It's too early. Play him. You only play like 12 games.
I'll play him now, but I'm just saying.
Why not?
There's no way I would play him now.
Why not? It's not like y'all in game 71.
Because they don't have a chance to compete. It's just a waste.
Well, you never know until he plays.
No. There was no expectation
of him playing.
Him playing early in the season. There was none. As a matter of fact, the expectation was going to be he was out for the year. But what Bill's challenge on and what looks like he could be right could be the fact that you could see this man possibly by the All-Star break.
And I would like to see him by the All-Star break because, like I said, like that was part of what I was saying is, if he's healthy enough to play, have him come back, play March, late February through the rest of the season. You got him on a minute restriction for the first couple months. Right. And then, get him back acclimated so that 2021, he's back to being John Wall because we saw it with Paul George where Paul George came back. He wasn't the same. Gordon Hayward was pretty much the whole season. He just was not the same, probably around March or April, he kind of got back to himself. But, I mean, it took a while. So with John Wall, I like to see him come back, around, All-Star break. Because I can see Washington perhaps having a playoff spot, being in contention for a playoff spot towards March.
Defense.
Yeah, I like IT on that team, though. I like IT.
Because this is funny. The person that they said that this, what was it? And NBA 2K needs to get this man's name right. Moritz Wagner.
Wagner. Yeah.
It's not Wagner. It's not they. The whole entire time, NBA 2K and even myself and probably others call him Mo Wagner. Yeah, and I was like, that sounds like a black name. But he's German or that descent. And it's Moritz Wagner.
He's a monster too. It's funny because I remember going on Twitter his freshman year. I was like, "Hey, everybody, watch out for this kid." And then I come back, I keep track of how he's playing, and then he gets drafted. And I'm like, "Yeah, this kid's gonna be a problem if he goes to the right place." The Lakers weren't really gonna be that place because they're building a different nucleus. But on Washington, yeah, he can definitely make an impact. Definitely make an impact. But I wish y'all kept Saddle, man.
Ready? Y'all ready to close? Y'all ready to close? Y'all good?
Oh, you're not gonna share that picture?
You still in baseball season?
Yeah, we won a World Series. Of course.
I just want to see what this is.
It's a shirt. It's a shirt. I'm gonna show it. Hold on.
Oh boy! Don't get mad because the Braves haven't won one.
I'm not mad. I'm just tired. It's been a long day. I'm being honest. I mean, I've been working all day.
That's why I was trying to share it earlier.
There you go.
But yeah,
trash.
More stuff keeps coming out. By the way, there's video of they show where the setup was, possibly of where that person was seated. That's like the tunnel leading out to the dugout.
Right.
They said sound could travel, and the trash can sitting right there. Right behind the bench where there was like a TV, a laptop, possibly.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I've been saying this from the beginning.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, when I heard about this, I was not surprised. It's like, yeah, they got caught cheating? Okay. What? Who else found out that the the Houston Astros was cheating and other teams was like, yep, let's get rid of our evidence right now. Probably about another 4 teams.
Like I said, Washington came up with a counter and it was perfect.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like it just happens. But yeah, it's been a pretty good episode. I mean, we got a lot of informative stuff out there. Yeah, we got some sports stuff out there, so that's good. We got a good balance. Don't know when this is actually going to be transitioned over just yet. I'm still deciding if I'm gonna just go straight to Twitch like episode 100, or if I just wait until the end of the month. I don't know yet. I don't know about waiting to the end of the month because that just gives more ammo for the FTC to look at more videos if I do that. So it's just something to look at. Periscope's there as well, so you may see a live stream podcast on Periscope on Twitter. Catch us there. I don't know. What you got, DJ?
Well, I know Pooh just brought up Eddie Guerrero. Funny a little bit about that. I'm currently blocked by Chavo Guerrero, and I trolled.
How the hell did that happen?
The Astros fan talking about Walgreens. Well, how did I get blocked by Chavo?
Yeah,
He's a Cowboys fan. I rashed him plenty of times. I guess he just got tired of it.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I just released the blog. What was it? I released it. Was it yesterday? Yeah, released yesterday about the Redskins. The link's in the description down low. So you guys, if you have time, go check it out. Tell your friends. And my State of Decay 2 series keeps rolling. Episode 5, possibly.
Yeah, we'll talk to you about that after we get off here.
Gotcha.
What you got, Bills?
For anybody wondering, Carmelo Anthony tonight has 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 fouls. In 18 minutes, he's 3 for 10. So, he's getting his flow back, but he still looks like the same old Carmelo Anthony. He can score the rock from any spot on the floor.
No, about to say for his debut, that's not too bad.
Yeah, he's only going to play 20 minutes they said. But he is going to be starting. They said he's going to stay in the starting lineup for the foreseeable future, which is cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's all I got.
The FTC information is down in the description. Take a look at that. You can give the FTC feedback until December 9th. You can also sign a petition, which I don't care about the petition too much. But really, honestly, the FTC one, the comment to them, tell them what your thoughts about COPPA or whatever. That's something to really look into. So I don't have anything else. We'll see how things go. Thursday we'll be back. We'll let you know if we're going to be on Twitch or if we're going to be on YouTube. Either way, we're going to be here giving you more sports and more sports gaming content. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Fuck the FTC.
Peace out. World Series champs.